I don't know how we're gonna go into.
Yeah,
Just do it.
Hey guys, I'm Diego.
I'm JT.
I'm Carlos, and we got producer Son on the levels over here.
Yeah, how's it going?
Welcome back to another episode of Bowlofmen. See, that feels good. I haven't done that in a while. That one felt good in the
I
soul.
feel like it's only been a week since you haven't done that.
Has it been 2 weeks?
Longer.
2
I
weeks,
think.
maybe.
2 weeks.
No.
Yeah, because we had like the 2-week hiatus, and then the
More
last
like 3
episode.
weeks.
Then the last episode I didn't even get to do it. And then so, it's been like a month. It's been a while.
All right, Carlos, tell us what we're gonna talk about today.
All right, so this one's actually a topic that I wasn't super hyped for, but I'm glad we're covering. So this one, we definitely need to get sponsored by Crunchyroll for this one for sure.
Please.
And Webtoon, yeah. But we're gonna be covering Tower of God and the God of High School. So Tower of God recently finished up 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago.
Something like
It
that.
was
Yeah.
a while ago, actually. Now that I think about
Who
it.
knows whenever we're gonna let this episode out? So
yeah, right.
Like in a month.
Oh, yeah. As of
Maybe
time
a
of
month for you
recording,
guys.
as of time of recording, it was like 2-3 weeks ago.
maybe 3 months ago for you guys.
No, I think it was a while because I remember talking to Adrian about it. That it like wrapped up like last month, I think. But and then God of High School is on its 3rd episode for us right now.
Yes.
Time of recording.
Yeah.
And so for those of you that don't know, the reason why I mentioned Crunchyroll and Webtoon is because these two are Korean originated manhwa,
Mm-hmm.
and they've been adapted into anime picked up by Crunchyroll.
Mm-hmm.
So when you watch them, it's like, one of my like qualms with it is it says Crunchyroll original.
Yeah.
But Crunchyroll didn't make it.
Well, but it's a Crunchyroll exclusive,
Yeah.
you
See,
know?
but that's what I'm saying. Call it an exclusive.
I mean,
I don't know. By
that's getting into,
by
like,
slapping
semantics.
the original text like tag on it, it makes it look like Crunchyroll like created it.
Here,
You
I'll
know?
call them.
They're
if
just-
you want.
Yeah.
Call Crunchyroll, yeah.
Call
Call
up
up
Mr.
producer Simon.
Crunchyroll. Call
Send
up
him a
Mr.
send him a
Yeah.
tweet. Send him a tweet.
I want to talk to Mr. Crunchyroll himself. But
CEO of Crunchyroll.
Crunchyroll son.
yeah.
Oh, excuse me.
But yeah, so should we? Okay, I guess I'll leave the tag, or I'll drop it right now. There will be heavy spoilers for
At least for Tower of God, since that one is already finished.
yeah, and then we're just gonna talk about and maybe speculate a little bit about
The upcoming seasons.
God of High School.
Oh, yeah, okay, yeah.
But yeah, we are gonna be talking about the 2nd season, hopefully, or what we think about it. But so that's on the agenda for today. Funny enough, I actually just recently finished Tower of God, and
I think you already kind of finished.
So like you'll
about
have to explain it because like I honestly just couldn't get into Tower of God. Like I tried watching the anime, just wasn't it for me. I tried going and reading the webtoon of it.
Okay, JT. Well,
even
what
less.
was the problem about that? Like, why couldn't you get into it?
I don't know what it was. It was just maybe it was just something to do with the main character. I didn't really like vibe with him all
Okay,
too well.
sure.
I'm just not sure.
Was it like because it was a weakling or something?
No, there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, like
That's something wrong with, like, it really put a bad taste in my mouth, the main character.
Like, so you like strong? Like you want like a strong character?
No,
like,
it's not that I want a strong character. It's just
Goes
that
into those strong.
he relies way too
okay.
much on
There
other
you go.
characters to lift him up.
I agree with that. For a like MC, like the pro tag, yeah, there's a lot to be like left to be desired.
It feels like the was it
Kun, the white hair guy.
No, the blue haired guy.
Oh yeah, he's white. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
true. It's like a
I
like,
feel
blue
like
bandana.
Yeah,
He
blue
was
bandana.
he was more of a main
Blue
character.
he was he
Like
was like
his-
carrying.
Yeah.
He has
he
more of a
carried it.
storyline.
Yeah, so for those of you that don't know, Tower of God, the objective is that there's a big tower, and people are chosen to climb this tower. And if you climb the tower, all your
Wishes and desires or
yeah,
whatever.
Mhm.
is it all or just one?
Yes.
You know,
Yeah, yes, there you go. Yeah,
yes, but actually no.
Yeah.
It's like
but
your wish
wishes
gets
and
granted or
desires
whatever.
gets granted. Yeah, so
Yeah.
everybody wants to climb this tower. And the main protagonist, Bam, is a weakling. I guess I don't know how to go about that, but there's this girl that he likes that saves him, and
It's not really that he likes her. It's kind of like she saved him, so it's kind of
Yeah.
like he became a loyal dog to
yeah,
her. You know.
yeah. And so like the anime starts with like this is this is the story about
Rachel.
Rachel who climbed the tower to see the stars, and Bam, who all he needed was Rachel.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what the story is about.
Mm-hmm.
And like as we were talking about, Bam as a character, as a main character, especially, he's not. He's definitely not a Luffy. He's definitely not a Kirito. He's not like
in the beginning. Bam was like stuck in a cave. He didn't know anything. Rachel found him and taught him everything he knows. It just clearly shows that Bam didn't have an education or anything.
Yeah, he's just wearing like a potato sack, like somewhere, like eating rocks,
he had,
maybe
like really
got
long
down
hair.
to his knees.
Yeah, and then he finds Rachel, or rather, Rachel finds him
and gets him out of the cave or whatever.
And she tells him about like how she wants to see the stars, and then they don't really go into it very like in depth. It hits the ground running. It like throws you in. Like it's just like 2 minutes of like exposition, and then it's like, bam, they're in the tower. Like you're climbing it. You kill everybody. Like first test survive. Yeah, and
so basically, like, as they're saying, Rachel wants to see the stars, but from what I've seen, well, as the show tells you, it's like the sky or whatever, like you can't see the sky, right?
Yeah. So I was lost as far as like that part goes. Like I didn't know if it was like a Gurren Lagann situation where like they just like they live underground and so they can't see the stars, or is there like some type of curse that's covering this? I missed that part entirely. Like I just didn't stick to my brain.
Yeah, in the case of world building, it's very confusing because they don't really go into.
They
much
just glance by it, right?
Out of like the tower, you don't.
There's like one episode where they like it's like, oh yeah, like we're on the 6th floor or something, and what you see, it's like an illusion that's made up by something.
Yeah,
right?
it's an illusion.
So that's what made me think like Gurren Lagann, where it's like, yeah, they live underground or something, and so she wants to see the stars so she can.
Or like in the last episode, I think
it's
like she wants to be a star or something like that. She wanted to be a star.
Yeah. Well, that had to do with more of her character, rather.
Okay. Yeah.
But I mean, we can talk about that, I guess.
Her goals or why?
I don't know. I feel like that's jumping. No, I guess that works. Yeah.
I mean, because
so the heavy like spoiler part, and the reason why I hate her, but I love her as a character.
Like, you hate her intentions, but you love her as a character.
Yeah, it's like me as Carlos watching this. I'm just like, Rachel, like a little can of soda. I just want to like crush it and like, throw it into the compact, the compactor.
Like, honestly, yeah, you could have like, you can hate Rachel, but like, she has her intentions. Like, Bam didn't have to go in there and like.
The thing is that the way I feel about this is like Bam. Like you said, he's a little dog. He's a little cute little puppy dog
to her,
and he's got like the cute puppy dog eyes, and he's just like the anime says, it's like all he needs is her.
Mm-hmm.
Like everybody in this anime, and like I was talking to Ev about this, is like as characters you can't enjoy them. At least I didn't enjoy them because they're not showing their full potential as characters.
They're only showing like surface level.
Exactly. Like that's how the creator made them, I think. Like intentionally, because if you were to know them more as a character, it would give away too much and you would catch on too quickly as to what's happening. And I was telling Ev, I was like, yeah, I like this character, so I know that he's not plotting anything, right?
Yeah, it's like the more you know about a character, the more you know like he's all right.
Yeah, he's all right. But like there's all these other characters that you don't know anything about, and then so like that leads me to think like, okay, so they're doing something, they're plotting something. Because like the creator of this story doesn't want you to know too much.
Yeah, it's like he's keeping his cards close to his
chest. Exactly. And so I lost where I was going with this.
You were talking about Rachel in the beginning, why you
yeah. So everybody in this story has their own like agenda that they're trying to do. There's the princesses of Jihad that are doing their own thing. There's the false princess, the guys who's trying to clean up the false princess. There's all this like subplot stuff that's going on, and meanwhile, Bam already has what he wants.
Well, yeah, like in literally the first episode, he's following Rachel. Like Rachel goes into like the doors or whatever, but Bam also goes in there. but he goes in there as an irregular. Like that's what they call him, an
because
irregular.
Instead of being chosen, he like not forced his way in, but he opened the doors himself.
Yeah, and I don't really know the definition of an irregular in this anime. I don't know if you remember what exactly an irregular does.
Yeah,
or is.
that's what it is. Is that regulars are chosen by the tower to be like, it's like a invisible force that's just like you're gonna climb the tower, and so it scoops them up. And
a
it's like,
god, so to say.
yeah, right.
Yeah.
A god of tower?
Full circle.
Yeah, and then an irregular opens the doors themselves. Instead of being chosen, they're just like they have the power, the mystical.
I wonder what's behind door number 1.
Do all the regulars have to go through that like first test, or just like is it only the irregulars that?
What do you mean first test?
Remember the first episode? It's that first test
to
where
survive.
Like, yeah, you know how they got the sword.
with the serpent.
Yeah, where he has to destroy the ball. Because I know, remember that last episode? Also, Rachel had to do that test.
I think yes. Then.
I think that's they do it because the
Herion,
that guy, he wants to like test them to see if they're powerful enough or willing enough.
See, so like that's where there's confusion because Rachel. So in the first episode, she like starts glowing and she disappears, right? Because she was quote unquote chosen. The tower chose her to climb. Yeah. But Hedion then tells her, "You weren't chosen." Yeah. Right. Yeah. But that makes no sense. And how is she there? Like, is that him just getting in her head? And
pretty sure it's because she has like her desire to like go see the stars or whatever. So she's in a regular.
So that's what makes her a regular.
So that's why like she has to whatever, like being a spoiler. Saying a spoiler here, she has to kill Bam.
Right. Well, yeah. Well, but Hedion gave her that.
Yeah, because she wasn't chosen. So it's like I guess it's a trade.
She has to prove herself.
Yeah.
But that makes no sense. But it's like, she was chosen because that's how she got there. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I'm
pulling this out of my ass.
I don't. Well, yeah, because that's essentially like I guess it's Hedion's just denying her. I guess that's what it is. That's really the only thing I can think of, because he's like you're mistaken. You weren't chosen. I feel like what they're doing with Bam's character, I feel like they made him that way to like be a doormat for Rachel's character.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that's only after like certain episodes.
Yes,
like near the end.
But that's what that's my like point. I feel like Evs as well as to not like him as a character, because you have to go through 12 episodes of him just like, I'm too weak, but I'm gonna climb the tower. Please lend me your strength. Yeah, I'm doing this for Rachel.
To see Rachel.
Yeah. This is like the biggest case of excuse my language, simping I've ever seen in an anime.
Oh, I was gonna say that too. Like watching that last episode, whenever he like washed up and then like he like turns over and stuff, I was like, bro, if you say that you need to find Rachel, I was like, simp, bro, simp. Okay, so like the big spoiler. Here we go. We're just gonna go into it. Basically, Rachel is envious of Bam. So Bam, like you said, it's not really a love, but it's just like this, like he wants to follow her. He wants to do everything for her. Simping. He like wants to be the doormat.
Literally the definition of simping.
Literally. Yeah. Upon thinking about it, it's like literally the definition of simping. Like that's just what he wants to do, because she was his light. She was like what saved him, pulled him out of the darkness, quite literally. Mm-hmm. And Rachel's desire, though, she wants to be special, right? So I was looking at this and I was like, yo, this is literally the best case. Like other animes have like made jokes at it where like side characters are like, oh man, I'm the side character, this is literally that, where she's like bitter that she's the side character.
See, that's actually an interesting like twist
to
it.
That's what I was saying. I was like, I hate her. Like me as Carlos, like what she did to Bam, I hate her. But like objectively as a story, that's fire.
Yeah,
like, that's awesome.
Like, there's those scenes where like Bam is all like, yeah, I need to save my friend Rachel. And they're like, you need to save a friend Rachel? And then all the other characters are like, we'll help you out. And then they even say like, it's like, oh, I'm envious of Bam because he's just a regular guy, And they just like, they help Bam because he's just a normal guy. Yeah. He doesn't have anything special about him. Like,
he's not like quote unquote broken like everybody else.
Like, he doesn't wield a sword. He isn't like a big brute or something like that.
He's just a kid.
He has no so that like coming full circle to what I was saying earlier. Everybody's climbing the tower for something. They have ulterior motives. Bam is literally just there to find Rachel. He doesn't care about getting to the top. Yeah, at least I don't think so. He might just
So-
to let Rachel see the stars, I think.
So his first intention was to climb the tower so he could find
Find
Rachel. Right?
Rachel,
Yeah.
right?
Then he finds Rachel. Then after that,
He's like,
some things happened where like Rachel couldn't climb the tower by herself, so he took it upon him to help her go to the
Climb
top
the
of the
tower.
tower. Yeah,
Yeah,
so
to see the
that's
stars.
like
Yeah.
his motive changed.
right. But then like the whole spoiler part, Hedion tells her like, Hedion knows. Like he's just like, you're cringe.
Yeah.
like
Literally
that,
said
like that jealousy that she has for him because she wants to be the star. He's like, you don't want to see the stars. You want to be the star,
Mhm.
you know? And
She's all like, Bam is literally just Bam, and he gets everything. You
Yeah.
know?
Like,
I think
he
that's
gets
just,
everything
yeah.
I wanted.
Yeah,
And so like I think it's like a really cool moment where he's all like, stand aside and watch as your savior comes.
oh yeah.
And Bam shows up and she's just like, Bam's my savior? Excuse me? You know,
Yeah.
like she's just like so mad about it. Like I said, it's like, do I hate her? Yes. Do I respect her as a character? Absolutely. Like it's just, I feel like they made Bam that way so you can like feel bad for him.
Yeah, thinking about it, you're right, Carlos. Like talking about it, Bam sounds like a second, like a side character.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, like just talking about it, this sounds like a side character.
He gets like no building. He gets no
Mhm.
like, not a training arc, but he gets no like, oh, even as cheesy anime, like through the power of friendship, and you know
Yeah.
he gets
He doesn't
none
have
of that.
any like plot armor or
Yeah.
anything like that.
Well, he has like those moments where it's just like you see he's special,
Mm-hmm.
but like that doesn't matter. Like you don't learn any. Like Bam isn't the character. Like he's just like a placeholder for
Yeah.
now.
You,
And like,
you know what I'm starting to notice?
what's up?
That the main character is Bam. That's who we see the eyes through, but the knowledge lies in Kun. Yeah, in Kun.
Kun. Yeah.
But the story is really about Rachel.
Rachel.
So it's
And
like
so-
spread around these three characters.
Yeah. So, and I got like big My Hero vibes from it. Only in the ending where, in the movie, the second movie, Deku says,
Whoa, I haven't seen it, buddy.
he's like, this is the story of how I became the world's greatest hero.
Mm-hmm.
Right? That like echoed in my head at the end episode where Rachel's narrating it, and she's like, this is the story of how I climbed the tower to see the stars, and Bam, who all he wanted was Rachel or whatever.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Right. And that I was thinking about that. Back it up a little bit. The spoiler. She betrays Bam. Right. All that jealousy, all that anger and hatred is just like she gets an ultimatum from Hedion, where he's like, you're not strong enough. Like you don't deserve to climb this tower.
Mhm.
But if you kill Bam with your own hands, I'll let you climb the tower.
Yeah.
Right. And so, anyways, it all boils up to a point, and she Spartan kicks Bam off this platform and kills him, quote unquote, kills him.
Yeah.
And where I was frustrated, events happen, and she lies, and she's like, Bam was attacked
By fish.
by fish. He got murked, and no one questions her. She's supposed to be
Paralyzed.
right? That was like the psych moment,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
Gotcha.
that got Bam basically, but
Mhm.
everybody still thinks that she's a cripple or
Mhm.
paralyzed, and they're like, we'll help. Like, we owe Bam one. We'll help Rachel climb the tower. I was just
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
no,
It's
she
like
doesn't deserve
The
that.
enemy gets
Like,
what she
Yeah,
wants.
like
yeah.
whenever they say that, like we'll help the Black Turtle's friend, like
yeah,
like climb the tower, and then like they show a scene of like Rachel just like laughing.
yeah. She has like that maniacal
Yeah.
laughter in her room where like everything's going her way, and she has a line where so basically somebody told her like, hey, do these actions and you'll get put in a position where you can kill Bam. And she was saying, like, while she was narrating it, she was just like, it was comical how well the plan was going, that everything was falling according to plan.
Yeah.
And I was just like, I was gritting my teeth. I was like, God, I hate
And
her
you know,
so much.
you'll only know about this plan after the fact. So
yeah,
like,
it's after. It's
yeah.
literally, you watch 12 episodes of it. The 12th episode, it happens. The 13th episode, they like you said, they tie the
they tell you about like
yeah,
what happened
everything,
behind.
yeah.
So like
the
based off
scenes.
of what I'm hearing, it's almost like Rachel's really more of a villain than she is like the
Yes.
main character.
Yeah.
yes, but
From what I understand, it's like I watched the first 11 episodes dub,
Hmm.
and Rachel actually sounds like more friendly.
yes. So like that's the thing. It's like her acting the entire. Oh, like her
Yeah,
voice.
her voice, like the voice actor, like from the voice in the sub. I noticed that, and that's what I actually read in the reviews. People say like it's really weird how like her voice sounds more like you enjoy Rachel more
Right.
in the dub than in the sub, because you actually hate Rachel more in the sub
Yeah.
than in the dub.
See, so like I didn't watch the dub, so I
Yeah.
don't know. But in the sub, like I was telling Ev again, like going back to the whole thing where it's like I don't know about Rachel, therefore
Mhm.
I can't trust her because of like how I think this guy is making these characters, you know?
Hmm.
And like just hearing her voice and like the way she's acting, she's pretending to be nice to him and just like, you know, but like the way she talks, and I guess this is just like perfect execution for the voice actor. You can hear the guilt. Like you can hear like she like something's up. Like
She's hiding something
exactly.
big.
Like, and you can hear that in the voice actor's voice. Like, and it's awesome. I want to go into the dub now and
Yeah, they say
to
like
compare, but
they're like even since the beginning in the sub, like you don't trust Rachel in the sub, but if you watch it dub, like you're like, oh, you know, like Rachel isn't that bad, you know.
it's Rachel.
Yeah,
Yeah.
thinking about it, I didn't really like pick up the evil intentions in Rachel's voice in the dubbed, but in the subbed, well, maybe it was because I watched the subbed. Same thing at the Diego 12 and 13 episode.
Yeah.
You can really hear like Rachel's sort of
Like
hinting
that-
at
yeah.
something else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like she's not comfortable with what she's doing, really.
And then there's just like all this, and so like the whole like us speculating about the second season is like the way they end it, right? Everybody, you see all of Bam's quote unquote friends, and they're all like, we're gonna help Rachel climb the tower, and she's like in her little wheelchair, still pretending to be paralyzed, and I was telling them, I was like, my only ray of light of hope is Kun, because he like leans, or like they're all standing there and he like looks over at her and says something along the lines of like,
You know, Bam really
yeah,
liked
he's like,
you.
you know, yeah, he really cared for you.
Yeah.
And she was like, yeah, I know. And like instantly he retorts, no, you don't.
Yeah.
Because if you did, you wouldn't be here, you know?
Mhm.
And I was just like, yo, my man Kun, because his character, he's a smart, cunning, always 10 steps ahead. Like that's just who he is.
Yeah.
And I'm like, bro, please God. I was like, even if it's the tiniest morsel of distrust against her, that's all I need. I just need one of those people.
He never really trusted her in the beginning,
Exactly.
anyways.
Exactly.
So,
But that was more bred out of his own situation at home,
Oh.
because he saw a lot of like parallels between him and I think his sister, and and then Bam and Rachel.
yeah.
So he saw a lot of like himself in that situation.
But even
So,
then, he like even bringing that up, it kind of looked like he doesn't trust her.
yeah, that's what I'm hoping. I
Yeah.
hope so. But and then it ends with like, Bam, plot twist, isn't dead. He's like, he used like his magic power, I guess, to protect himself. And then it ends with like a teaser. I'm hoping Bam turns into a pro tag. I'm hoping
Into
he
a
turns
man.
into a man. Yeah, because he has that moment where like, I don't know. They did a really good job at not showing it. I don't know if he's angry. Like you can tell he's angry.
Yeah.
He's angry. You hear it in his voice. He's
Like,
angry.
They say like he just wants to find the truth. And it's
Exactly.
like they're like, you'll find the truth by climbing to the top. It's like, no, like I'll find the truth by climbing the tower, you know?
Yeah. And so, that's actually really cool. I didn't catch that until you said it just now.
Yeah.
That like she was saying like by reaching the top,
Yeah.
but he's like, no, like the process of climbing the tower,
Yeah.
he's gonna find
It's
out.
about the journey.
Yeah, about the journey, not the
Yeah.
destination.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, he just sounds angry, and so I was all like, I don't think it's because he has that moment where he like realization of like, oh, Rachel pushed me,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
and so like it flips, but I don't think that anger's towards Rachel. I think it's just anger,
Mm-hmm.
you know, like I can't tell, I couldn't really tell.
See, like, I
Like,
don't
you think
think
it's just displaced rage
like-
rather than like directed towards somebody?
yeah, think
I
so.
don't think that like Bam would get angry at Rachel. Like even though like
See,
Because I don't think I even saw it.
Yeah, it's not really.
I don't think he was angry at her.
Could he
But
be
from-
angry
That's
at,
what I'm saying. Not at her, but like he was angry.
Yep.
at
Yeah,
himself,
probably.
maybe?
Probably
Ford-
at himself.
Ford-
That's a good one.
He probably pulled a coon for
Yeah.
hitting.
Or
Like,
simping too hard.
Yeah.
He's
Like
like
he couldn't see it.
$600
Yeah.
and she didn't even say my name.
good.
But yeah, I don't know. So like, I don't know what my heart wants. Do I want Bam to be angry at Rachel, or do I want Bam to keep being the sweet puppy dog
Dude, I
that
just
he
want
is?
Bam to man up.
That's what I'm saying.
Really?
I don't
He's
know.
just gonna
But you
slaughter
have to-
everybody and just climb the tower
Yeah,
himself.
in
Yeah,
the
right.
process of like manning up, he's probably gonna have to like strip that doggy persona of
Yeah,
his.
then like maybe he's gonna like meet up the other characters and like he comes in like all badass and shit.
Yeah, he's like super strong.
Yeah.
It's like, guys, I'm
wearing
back.
like
He's
his
like 6
enemy's
feet- 6 feet
skulls
tall.
as a
He's like-
hat.
looking bigger than the gator.
Yeah. Hey Gator, time for the challenge.
But yeah, I don't know what I want. Like, I think they're definitely setting it up. Obviously for a second season.
They
That's-
said multiple. What is it?
I don't
Multiple
know how I feel about that.
season adaptations.
Okay, well, so let me put this into perspective. The original webtoon, I believe it's in the middle of season 3, maybe season 4.
Yeah, because they said it did so well. Like whenever they released it, that,
It currently has 478 chapters. Like it has, just knocked out right
oh my
there.
God.
It has a lot, and they're currently on hiatus, meaning there's obviously more to come out later.
He's like sitting and plotting. He's just like, what would be
But, like,
wild?
Season 1 for the webtoon ended at chapter 78. Like that's all they had for season 1.
Huh?
Yeah. So that just kind of goes to show how much they really cut out for like fillers, but also like how much they're really amping it up. I'm not entirely
Yeah.
sure where season 1 of the anime ends with season 1 of the webtoon. I guess I'll have to actually sit down and go read through it.
Yeah.
But it's really interesting to see because they have a lot of material to work with. Yeah, they're currently in season 3 right now.
So, talking about something that I didn't like about this anime, there's a big cast. There's a lot of people,
Mhm.
oh, yeah.
right? And talking about the whole like, if I like them as a character, again, this is just me. It's like if I like them as a character, I know they're not plotting anything. I think that's true. I do believe that. The purple jumpsuit guy. I don't
Let
remember
me get
his
his name
name,
real quick.
but he's just like a lovable character. He's
Yeah.
by all means shouldn't be there. Like he's not nearly as strong as enough as any of those people there. But then like my problem with that is that like
Is his name?
Yeah.
Shibisu.
Shibisu,
Yeah.
Yeah.
that guy, he's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Comedic relief. I
Mhm.
like it. Good job.
10 out of
But
10.
There's a lot of comedic relief in there.
yeah, there's the gator. He's a big one for
Yeah.
me at least. But there's like all these characters, and it felt like in those last 2 episodes, like I loved what they were doing with that dynamic of Bam and Rachel. Like that's awesome. That's cool.
Mhm.
But I feel like they tripped up on not fleshing out all the other characters well enough. Like they tried with Anik, the lizard girl.
Mhm.
You got like an episode and a half of her backstory and how she's the false princess.
Yeah, she was the daughter of a princess, and princesses
Kids.
can't bear children.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like that's a big rule.
And so to kind of like argue on that fact, or not really argue the fact, but they could be going in a direction of saying how My Hero Academia, whenever it first started out, all the extra characters that they had added, like all the students from Class 1A, they really hadn't fleshed out many of their characters until like season 2 or 3.
Yeah, but
Like-
even then, like you got like a little hint here and
You're
there.
right, you're right, but that has to go with the fact that like obviously these characters aren't really plotting anything. They're just kind of students living their days going throughout. They're really just focused on Deku and Bakugo.
Right.
Whereas Tower of God, like you said, everybody's planning something.
So, like, my issue with that is that they play too big of a role
Mm-hmm.
for it to be fleshed out in another season.
Mm-hmm.
At least the way that they handled it here, because she's a false princess.
Mhm.
Like they're sending people to go assassinate her. Like
Yeah.
that's a big plot line.
They're like people who are trouble for the tower or something like that, right?
Yeah, yeah. Oh well, no. So that's like outside the tower, I believe, where it's just the kingdom.
Okay.
The king of Jihad. It's like the 12 princesses are like his collection, like
Oh.
the shoes that are on the shelf.
Yeah.
That's the analogy they keep using.
Mhm.
But like you said, so like she shouldn't be a princess. One, because her mom broke the rules, like, so she's not supposed to. But because that power spreads outside of the king's control, right? Because he grants the princesses their power, and so by having a child, wrong. So we got to get rid of her. And then all of a sudden, miraculously, that other princess, the one who always wears the heels, those two were always fighting.
And Dorsey.
But now they're friends, and now Dorsey's protecting her. They didn't flesh that out at all. They didn't even, like, I guess through exchanging blows, they, molded a friendship. Like, there's that scene where they're on the platforms, and then they fall, and then after that, it's also they're square.
That's because
Didn't make sense.
It was kind of like, oh, how was your mom before she died?
Yeah,
like
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. I was like, it was too quick. Like, I didn't like that. And then, like, at the end with Yuri, she shows up with like her band of merry chaps.
Yeah.
And then, it's like this fight, and she's like, yawning and like deflecting all these like crazy killer moves and stuff like that. And it's like, okay, I get it. She's super powerful. It's like, but like in total of all 13 episodes, she's had maybe max 5 minutes worth of screen time. Max. So it's like, I don't know who she is. I guess she's powerful. They've talked about her, but like, there's nothing there. And it's like, I get it. Like, I'm cool if you're going to flesh them out. You're going to go in detail next season. But for them to have such a big role this season, I needed more. Because, like, talk about disinterest. That was it. I didn't care what was going. That scene with Shibusu, Yuri, and Dorsey, Anik, and then the fluffy guy. No idea what happened. I was watching. I didn't care. I was like eyes glazed over. I was just like, what's going on with Bam and Rachel? Like, I want to know.
It just felt like filler.
Exactly.
It looked like it was setting up for something, but
it was just poor execution. It's just like, it's like they were too caught up like with this, and I don't blame them. Like, it was hot. Like, what's going on with these people over here with, the Gator guy and like the other team that's fighting and stuff like that. Like, I think they could have done better with those characters, but those are like B plot characters that I'm cool with waiting next season. But the fact that they try to do, I think it's more like characters,
I know it's like they could have done more with them, right? But it's like, I feel like it's more like they needed to show that at least they're there, for
like something setting up.
The Jihad princesses.
Like, no, just like the people who like barely did anything, right?
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm fine. Fine with the role that they had. Like, that's cool.
At least to at least show that they're there for the next season.
Something's happening.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like, that's cool.
Because it's like, if they didn't, then you're like, oh, where did these people show up from?
I'm just like,
because like the guy who was sleeping the entire season, like he had a lot of screen time, but you don't even know, like,
you don't even know what he's like.
Yeah.
Whose side is he on?
Like, he probably had like 3 lines the entire season, but it's like, you can at least know he's smart, he's strong, and like, like you can tell.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like, they did enough for all those other characters for next season to be like good to go.
Yeah.
But if next season they try to do stuff with the Princesses of Jihad and the 13 swords, the Black March and Green April and all that, like if they try to do stuff with that storyline, I'm not gonna know. I mean, like, I'm sure eventually I'll be able to catch up, but it's just, I think they could have done a better job with that. That was like my main like issue with that.
Not enough explanation.
Yeah, like, I don't know. I feel like they, I don't.
I felt like this anime just in general held back a lot, maybe for the second season, with characters and all that.
And I get like sometimes they have to do that for like effect, like they got to lay the groundwork so that like come next season it's just like bam, bam, bam. It's like, whoa, holy
it's
crap.
like usually season 1s are usually preserved for like, or at least more so now, world building rather than like trying to lay out a fire plot and everything.
And that's
like
what I'm saying. And that's why this anime is so good, is because for like this quote unquote like laying groundwork, dude, that's like, they hooked me. I wasn't expecting to like this anime, and I was just like, hey, here's my money. Hey, let me come back. I'm ready. When's it dropping?
I don't know, any anime that's like Climb the Tower, has really gotten like my attention,
Yeah, well, because I think it's like, it's very simple. It's just like, it's a simple objective you understand. It's like you get to the top, you get what you want.
Yeah.
And so like, you don't have to worry about that because you always understand the main objective. And so then they're allowed to sprinkle in other stuff in between. You know what I'm saying? So like, I agree. Like, it's a simple concept.
It works.
Yeah, because like if there's less for you to worry about, then you can focus on more like of the others, the finer.
There's like
details.
there sure is like a lot of filler like in between like climbing the tower.
Yes,
Like,
yes.
but like at the end, it's like you're climbing a tower in the end.
I think
Yeah.
I think because of the last Rachel episode
Mm-hmm.
and explaining everything, it makes up for like all of those quote unquote dull moments.
Yeah.
You know, like because of all those scenes where they showed like Rachel like in her room, just like, you know, like fetal position, you know, kind of crying.
Oh, yeah.
Or not crying, but
With
just
the
like
knife and like.
yeah, but no, but then like they show that to you in like the main episodes, and then that last episode they show you with her like the knife, where you thought that she was just like sad because Bam got hurt because of her.
Yeah.
It's like no, in actuality, it's her having to like mull over the decision of having to kill Bam. You know, so it's like it changes it completely, and you're just like,
I feel like they did that. They did that part right.
yeah,
Because like
exactly.
here you are thinking like going through the story, thinking, oh man, like she really doesn't want Bam to be here.
Yeah,
But it's like the subplot is she gets to get rid of Bam.
Yeah.
Like, and you don't know that till the end.
and it's just like it sucks because you see Bam just like giving his all for Rachel,
Mm-hmm.
but that just makes her hate him even more.
Yeah.
And it's just like, man, that's rough, man.
Mm-hmm.
That's rough. I don't know. I think we covered enough of that. What do you think?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think we should get into probably God of High School and then probably call it there.
You think? Okay.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So God of High School, that's another Crunchyroll webtoon. JT, do you want to explain this one?
Okay,
Take the reins.
Because
so
I know you're the God of High School guy.
yeah.
God of High School guy.
Winner.
So basically, the premise of it is pretty simple. There's this tournament that comes around once every year, and it's called the God of High School.
Where did it take place, JT?
Well, that's the thing. It takes place worldwide. It happens in different countries and everything, but we're focused in South Korea.
Wow.
Yes.
Seoul, to be exact, I believe, right?
Yes, Seoul. And so we have 3 main characters technically. We have Mori Jin, Mira Yu, and Daiwi Han.
Wow.
So I'm gonna kind of like jump back and forth between like telling the basic of the story and like these and the characters and stuff like
Sure.
that. What's really interesting for me to see was that the very first episode they did for God of High School, they cut out the first 3 chapters of the webtoon. Well, and I understand why they do it. And thinking about it more so now, the first 3 chapters of God of High School was not only introducing each character personally, so like episode 1 was Mori Jin, episode 2 was Mira Yu, and episode 3 was Daiwi Han.
Yeah, that's what I
okay.
noticed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it also went more into their backgrounds and the reasons why they're in the God of High School. So like Mori Jin, he's there just to fight. He's your basic anime protagonist, basically. Mira Yu, so they do it in a different way from the anime and the webtoon. The webtoon they make it more in a more comedical sense, but in the anime they make it a more serious tone to
like
it.
honorable, like
Yeah,
thing,
so basically Mira Yu is there to continue the legacy of the sword style
the moon style.
the moon style. It's basically just this like it's basically a dying sword style.
Yeah, she's like the last
Successor of it,
Yeah.
and she's trying to find a strong male, a husband, to help continue the legacy and spread the style through her children. Daiwi Han, it's honestly a real shame. They episode 3, they kind of give him more background to it, but it's really a shame just to see how bad they just kind of like cucked him, because Daiwi Han is one of the most developed characters in the series, and like the whole reasoning behind it is such a heart. It's very heartwarming. So basically, Daiwi Han, he used to be a leader of a gang. In this gang, it was just him and his best buddy. That was the whole gang.
Okay.
And they were the top gang in Seoul. And they were called, I think they were called like the 2 Raging Bulls or something like
Sure.
that. His friend ended up getting cancer.
Is it that guy?
It's that guy,
Okay, yeah.
that guy that you see in the hospital who's just got
Yeah.
he ends up getting cancer.
Damn.
So he's working like all these different jobs to help pay for these bills with his best friend's sister. Like they're working like 3, 4, 5 different jobs at a time to help pay for the medical bills. He ends up getting he's working at a convenience store, and then the executive, I'm pretty sure it was executive R or maybe it was O. There's a whole bunch of executives with
Yeah.
alphabets. But an executive walks up to him and he's like, "You are eligible to participate in the God of High School." And at first he turns them down because he just thinks it's a scam. And then the executive goes on like, "Well, we can grant whatever wish you want." And so he like has a flashback to his friend. He's just like, "I want money."
Yeah,
Because he wants to pay for it.
Yeah.
And then as the guy is leaving, he was like, "Really? That's it? I'd figured you'd want your friend saved, or your friend to be cured." And like Daiwi Han doesn't believe it. Like Daiwi just doesn't believe it at all. He enters the tournament, and so basically the story is it's a tournament. You go in, you win it, you get a wish, whatever you
Tower
want.
of God style.
Tower of God style, essentially,
Yeah.
but more fighting involved.
Right.
God in general.
Yeah. And it's really interesting to see like what they took out from the webtoon to put into the manga, or not the manga, the anime.
Do you think that it was more like the anime they're trying to center it around Morijin?
So the whole story is,
So like you get what I'm saying? So like instead of trying to focus on all three,
mhm.
they're trying to make like Morijin, like all three are like the main characters, but Morijin's like number one, and then like the other two are just kind of like there.
So
Support characters.
that's
support
the
characters, yeah.
thing about a lot of webtoons, or at least the ones that I read. There's never just one sole main character. There's always a multitude of them. Like you never have just the main focus of one character. For God of High School, the main characters are Daiwi, Mori, and Miru. Like, and then they'll introduce a couple of more characters that also become main characters. Because the story can't go on without these characters.
Sure.
So I don't believe the anime is trying to make Mori like the number one, even though it's basically is sort of told from his perspective, but it's not told all the time.
Sure.
Like it's a very evenly amount of.
No, I mean I was just like
Yeah, 'cause,
spitballing
like-
as to why they would cut out so much of Daiwei.
Well, that's the thing. They gave him his own like dedicated part a little bit in episode 2, and then more in episode 3. They're kind of talking about it.
Yeah.
And like in the webtoon, the whole reason why Daiwi even enters the tournament is because his friend ends up getting sicker, so he has to pay
It
more
like
money.
pushes him, and he's well, this is the only other like thing.
Exactly. But a lot of the stuff that they took out that I've noticed is just really small details. Like it's nothing really big or major.
So something I have to say about these two, referring to Tower of God and God of High School, stylistically, the coolest animes I've ever seen.
I know, like Tower of God. It really catches my eye.
Yeah.
I'm like, even though it like probably looks like doo doo to some people, I'm like, I don't know. I really like it.
I think if you've just been watching so much anime, you're used to like the same cookie cutter style, and like there might be like a little flair here and there in how they do the hair or the eyes or the mouth, but it's all for the most part the same. So
I don't know.
seeing Tower of God is just like, oh yeah, but. No, the music is the one that got me. Dude, the intro for God of High School.
Oh yeah.
See, I'm
Dude,
the
that hyped
exact.
me up so much.
Yeah.
I'm the exact opposite.
You
of
don't
that.
like it?
No, I hear it and I'm just
Ooh.
kind of thinking, wow, this just kind of like ruins the vibe
Get out.
just for that. I'm
Get
like
out.
thinking for it.
Doggy footer.
But you have to remember
do
the
you
difference
mean?
is I'm caught up on God of High
Oh,
School.
wow.
I know exactly what's happening when it's happening. So
Well,
like,
you see, we're living in ignorance here, dude.
I know you are, and
We're
there
in
you
the
are, and that's why,
moment.
and that's
Come
why I'm
on.
not saying anything. I personally do not like it. You guys are more than welcome to do whatever
So
you
what,
want.
that it's too hype? It's too
It
like
just doesn't fit. Like they're trying to give it a more, I don't know, hip hop, modern style to it.
Yeah, I
When
get
God
like
of High
a-
School or God of High School has nothing to do with that at all.
You think it's because it's fighting and
Yeah, it's,
See,
they're
oh, yeah,
trying to hype it up
scenes
because
also.
of the fight.
Yeah,
The fight
yeah.
scenes are
So-
also really good.
That is one of the most, one of the best things about this anime.
it's like choreographed fighting.
They
Like, it's actually like
they took the time to like draw out panel by panel what their fights want to look like.
So
I was
I knew I was in for a treat. Like the first episode, right, where they're just like everybody's in the ring and the ring announcer is like, or I guess rather like the area, and he's just all like, yeah, and the fight starts now, and everyone's like looking around like, huh, like
Yeah.
what did you just say? And that dude throws like a roundhouse kick or
Yeah.
something, like a spin kick, and it was like the most flawlessly animated, like
Like really smooth.
he just like kicks this dude and he goes flying, and I was like, I was like, what is that? Like the only person that I have a problem with is Daiwei.
okay.
I don't like the way they animated his fighting. He's very just like robotic.
Well, okay, so
Big punches.
there's a reason why to that. So basically, Dai focuses on karate.
Yeah.
Karate motions, they're very solid, they're very sturdy.
Oh, okay.
So
That
yeah,
makes
so
sense,
he's
yeah.
not supposed to have all these flashing moves. He's literally there just for like sturdy punches.
Yeah. Yeah, okay. That makes sense then. But yeah, because you see all these other people. Bro, my favorite one is that the wrestler girl.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
From
They-
America.
Yeah, her
dude,
name's
the WWE.
Minsun Ai.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah.
She was like, her fights were like, I was hyped, man. She was like German suplexing people and like
Yeah, just
full Nelson or whatever. I was just like, ooh.
all the stereotypes that you
Yeah.
learn to love.
She like climbs the top turnbuckle and like cheers as she won.
Yeah,
I'm
you
just
know
like,
what's funny?
Hmm.
All the like last handful of animes I've seen, I can't go without seeing a character do a German suplex. Like no joke. It's I don't know why.
Has a German suplex just
Popular,
become
man.
that popular that it's just become like a funny gag almost?
Yeah.
I don't know, man. It's something about
I mean,
it.
I'm
That's-
enjoying it either
yeah.
way.
Yeah, it's like I appreciate it, but I'm like
I think
don't
it's
know.
just like the perfect move that like, you know, you see a girl do it and it's like,
Yeah.
oh man, that's cool. Or if you see it happen to a girl, they can do like the skirt falling and they have,
Mhm.
there's a little
or
fan
you see
service
like a
moment,
elderly man.
yeah,
do it or something,
yeah.
like-
It's just like, I don't know. I think it's just like the perfect, and then like you get an opportunity as like an animator, I guess, to like, you know, throw
Yeah,
something in
yeah.
there that's just different, you know?
Mhm.
So there is one thing I do want to bring up. In the direction that the anime is about to go into is going to go into like a weird turn, but it's still just as enjoyable as
Okay.
anything else.
Two things while it's still fresh in my mind.
Go for it.
I love the fact that they like put their own advertising in.
Oh, yeah, yeah,
When I
dude.
first saw that, I
Crunchyroll.
Yeah.
literally just like started screaming
Bro,
because that's
yes.
so cool.
Yeah, because like first it was like when they're talking about the nanomachines and like you'll be healed.
And they had
And
like
it's,
the two medical
nurses.
girls.
Yeah, and it's like behind them. It's,
It's like Webtoon, Crunchyroll.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
and
so
then
cool.
And the
other
ring.
one was in the ring.
Yeah.
As it's circling the ring. It's
Honestly,
like
I thought that was like the
Webtoon.
coolest thing
Big
ever.
brain
Like
move,
they're
dude.
self-advertising,
I
obviously.
was like, oh, yes,
It's like that
man.
Obama meme where like he's putting the medal,
medal.
Oh, the medal on
Obama.
himself.
But it made me so happy. I was like, oh, it's so awesome. And okay, now the thing I don't like about this anime,
Mhm.
and
no.
a reason why, if they keep doing it, and I'm sure you'll tell me, and because it'll make me stop watching it. I love the fact like how well choreographed it is, and it's like all these people, all these different fighting styles. You know, they did their homework.
Mhm.
It shows, like it's beautiful.
Mhm.
The dark magic occult stuff
Mhm.
doesn't. Fit.
Oh yeah,
I-
like that last
Toop, toop, toop. Get outta
episode
here.
3.
No, even episode 1 with the big god hand dude smashing an island.
Okay.
Oh, yeah,
Oh, no,
yeah,
but
yeah.
I'm just saying, like
yeah, I saw
that,
that.
and then the last episode's like a
That
cult.
kind of pissed me off. Yeah,
Yeah,
I was all like, no, I want like a fighting
that's
anime.
what
I
I'm
don't
saying.
want like
I want to see
a
people like with skills duking it out. Like it's
Yeah.
cool that Mori like ate the fruit or whatever, like
Mhm.
One Piece style, and he died and resurrected,
Yeah.
and now he's like even more powerful. Like, sure, okay, that's cool, but like that the guy with the dreads, like
Mhm.
he was a cool like quote unquote
Oh, yeah.
antagonist. Like that was a cool. And then they just like now he's traumatized again. Like
because
I'm
yeah.
sure he might come back, cool, but like I don't know. It's just like I was like you said, it's like, I want a fighting anime. Like y'all did all the work for this. It's like don't bring in supernatural. Like
Yeah,
I don't
Sound
know.
like
It
a
doesn't
cheap
fit.
out,
Yeah,
like,
it doesn't
just-
make sense.
yeah.
It's like
it just feels like a Rock'em Sock'em where like the real fighting's over here, but then like the robots are fighting over here. You know?
yeah. It's just I don't know because it's like what's the whole point of like all this cool choreographed fighting and then just to have like this super powerful entity who can just slap an island whenever he wants. Like again, this is just going off the first 3 episodes, but like I saw it and I was like, it doesn't fit in this anime.
Yeah.
It's ruining it. Like I don't know.
Okay. So that has everything to do with like the direction
All right,
the
I'm
anime.
No,
So it's actually a really big deal. So the whole like
it's a really big deal.
so the whole god hand coming down on the island and the whole like I forget his name, blanking, whatever, the guy with the dreads and like him using those like dark auras and his kicks and stuff like that. Essentially the anime is about to take a turn where they have these abilities called borrowed powers.
Carlos, wait,
You-
come back.
So
See like my little ghost come out of my mouth.
Rip.
So basically, what it is that they take either religious or mythological aspects from history, and then people are able to summon their powers.
Their stands.
Essentially, their stands. Yeah, like no joke. They're essentially stands. And while people do tend to use them a lot, that doesn't.
A lot.
Well, because there's some people.
Little tear. I'm laughing, but I'm crying inside.
So there's a whole thing. Basically, a big major plot point that happens later on is this whole borrowed powers versus martial arts. Which one is stronger?
Okay, that might be cool.
And so I'm gonna have a big. I'm gonna say kind of a big spoiler here, but I guess it's not really big. Morijin doesn't get a borrowed power. Morijin just uses his Taekwondo.
Okay, yeah, I can
boy.
appreciate that. I can appreciate that.
It's
like
just
my pure
My
boy.
Hero Academia.
I get like what's it called?
What?
Megalobox vibes from it.
Yeah,
where it's
Megalobox.
like everybody's wearing like the gear, but he's like
no
gearless
gear, Gearless Joe,
Gearless
essentially.
Joe, yeah.
But there's different styles of borrowed powers. You have borrowed powers, like the one with Mujin Park, with his little god hand thing. Then you have a borrowed power which increases like physical capabilities, so like they can hit harder, move faster, stuff like that. So it just increases their human abilities to make them.
It's like
Then,
One Piece and the different types of devil
But
fruit.
then,
Exactly.
What's his name? Jin.
Morijin?
Morijin meets All Might, and he's like, "Eat this."
Eat this.
Gets borrowed
He's like,
power.
it's not a banana.
But yeah, and so like there's different styles for the different borrowed powers. I think one of the better ones to like help describe is the one that Mirai gets. She gets a borrowed power that doesn't. It's not like a physical. It's not like an ability like Mujin Park with his god hand. It's like an actual ability enhancer.
Enhancer. Okay. I was gonna say, I was like, yeah, because of the way that like they left her in the episode. Does Daiwei get one as well?
Yes.
Okay, I was about to say,
So-
I was like, yeah, because like the way they stand in comparison to Mori's like up here, and these two are down here. So like, yeah, if that's the way it's gonna keep progressing, they're gonna need, if they're gonna be relevant,
Mhm.
they definitely gonna need something.
And so there's like an interesting twist to that. So those bracelets that they get at the beginning of the anime that tells them like power levels and all that stuff, those aren't there to actually display how strong somebody are. They get rid of them pretty quickly. They're really just there as a gimmick. They don't
a gimmick for us, or a gimmick like in the
a gimmick
canonically.
a gimmick canonically, because the whole reason why they get those armbands is yes to monitor their vitals. That's really what it's mainly for. But the power level part of it is a psychological test. So at the very beginning, they don't do it in the anime. They only talk about it in the webtoon. The power levels there are really just to see how the combatants would like react in the battle royale setting.
No, they did it because the guy was all like, "Oh, he's a lower level than me. That means I better pick on these guys."
They
first.
did a good job of like telling you without having to just in your face tell you, but they didn't tell you like the full thing of it.
Oh, okay.
They were talking about how like the different people would react, like how we saw at the beginning where the two guys getting up in their face. Then they talked about how like there's the other guys who were just afraid of just like trying to see what everybody's level was at. And then the last part of it is just to see who doesn't care about the power levels.
Okay.
So you got three different groups. You got the people who cared and because they had a higher level. You had the people that were scared because they had a lower level. And then you had the people who didn't care what level they were. They were just that confident in their abilities.
Yeah. Okay.
And the whole point of the God of High School tournament is to find those people who don't care about the power levels.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And it goes into a much... There's so much story to it that I can't say because it will ruin literally all of it.
Yeah.
And that hurts my feelings.
We'll have to come back and...
Yeah, whenever God of High School...
For you, JT, we'll do... Because you've been brought back from the dead, we'll definitely...
He doesn't know. Shh.
Oh, wait.
Wait, what?
Nothing.
no.
Wait, was he?
Nothing,
didn't-
Miyamura.
We said that he quit. Yeah, JT didn't quit.
We hired him back.
Yeah, I said he got
Whatever.
hit by the
Yeah.
Isekai truck, so
He signed another contract.
yeah.
Anyway, so my
This
two
time for his soul.
favorite characters in this anime are Daiwi Han, just because he is one of the most developed characters, and honestly,
We'll see. We'll see if they keep that.
I really hope they do, just because he has like quite a few like iconic scenes, and honestly, I have a feeling a lot of people might stop watching it at one of them. Like it, I can't say. I'm not gonna say.
No, I'm definitely. I think the way I'm gonna do this is just I'm not gonna watch it at all anymore
Mm-hmm.
until and I'm gonna let you watch it.
Okay.
And then I'll let you tell me which ones to watch.
I don't think that's how it works.
I'm not
That's
watching
not
all
how
of it.
this works.
No, that's exactly how
No,
it's gonna
you
work.
have to watch all of it. It's too.
It's not.
They're whatever.
Just tell
I'm
him
in
to
it for the
watch.
fight scenes.
You can't
'cause
pick and
JT,
choose.
tell him to watch the ones he wouldn't want to watch.
Ooh.
Just leave a bitter
I'm
taste in
gonna
his mouth.
cry. I'll be watching it and just start crying.
Tell him it's like, yeah, watch
how could
episode
you-
7.
You
It's a
heard?
death scene.
It's like, what the hell happened?
Mori Jin dies. I thought he was the main character.
So another one of my favorite characters is Commissioner Q. You don't actually get his name in the anime, but it's that guy at the end with the red or the green hair and the glasses.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he fights him.
Yeah. You don't actually get his name in the anime. Not yet,
Oh.
at least.
You just know him as Commissioner Q.
Yeah, his name, or that's how you know as all of these like people.
Yeah, yeah.
Commissioner
By in a
Q.
letter.
You don't really know their real names. But Commissioner Q, they didn't really name him in the anime, but he's another one of my favorite characters, just because dude has so much sauce. He's literally dripping with sauce. It's fucking beautiful.
Please elaborate.
You have to watch the anime.
Give me
to
the
find
sauce
out.
for the sauce.
Yeah, like that, and it was that fight that made me realize I wasn't gonna like it. Whenever he was like, "No, you're pissing me off," and his stance comes out, and it's like this big robot or whatever. Well, I can't remember.
Wasn't it a samurai?
It was a jester.
Oh,
Oh,
that
the
guy.
jester, yeah.
Yeah, and Mori was like, "Oh," and then he keeps fighting it, and I was just like,
He's about to literally die.
"Yeah," I was like, what is this?
Yeah.
Because
Come on,
I was
guys.
like halfway there. I was okay with it when he like eats the dragon fruit or whatever it was, and then he like gets the spirit of the dragon, and he's like bleeding and dies, and he's back, and he's like, "Oh, my body feels hot," and I was like, "I'm cool with that, sure." You know, it's like some ancestral like whatever, like you can spin it.
Yeah, because he's all like, oh, he really is the son of like whatever, you know.
Yeah, and I was
So
like,
it makes sense.
Like,
I'm like,
yeah, it's like
kinda
some
makes sense.
dynastic power. Or
Yeah.
whatever. I'm cool with it. Yeah, but then as soon as that man Stans came out, I was like, I'm out. I was like, I can't. I was
JoJo
like,
Part 2. Mm.
yeah, I was like, but hey, I'll be there for the soundtrack though. I'm in it.
Yeah.
Let me hear more.
Yeah, I'm only here for the OST.
I watch it. Normally, I always skip like a minute 30, but this time I watched the minute 30, and then I skip the next 17 minutes, and then I'll watch the last 2 minutes.
Just there for the soundtrack. Don't
Yeah,
care about the story.
That's what I'm there for.
But it's really interesting to see like how they're doing the anime. Honestly, I think they're gonna do a really good job.
You think they're gonna follow it? Like so far with what you've seen and compared to the manhwa, like
Mhm.
you think it's like
So far, yeah, they're
okay.
doing pretty good.
they've cut the cut up. They've cut the cuttable.
Pretty
and they
much.
left in the meat.
They've rearranged certain like scenes. So at the very beginning, you see like the helicopter find the handprint in the island. In the webtoon, it's the military that finds it, and that's why Mujin Park goes to the military or the Pentagon to talk to the people there.
Okay.
Is because they're the ones that initially found it first, whereas the helicopter, which I'm assuming is connected to the military, found it.
Okay.
Um,
But I mean, yeah, I guess that kind of stuff's necessary to
Yeah,
just kind of like
because
let the flow go better.
they cut it out a lot of small parts. One of my favorite one of my favorite like early things in the webtoon was that as they were leaving the battle royale part of the tournament, they got jumped by a whole bunch of by a biker gang, and it was the brother of the thief from the very first episode.
Oh,
That's funny.
And so like, who is it? Mori Jin and Mirayu and Daiwi Han all fight them and just like KO them right there.
Yeah.
And then, you know, Mirayu just does the whole slap thing because Mori loses her sword and she's like trying to find it.
Yeah.
And like her phone dies and stuff like that. In the anime, it shows that he's carrying a flashlight, but in the webtoon, it's showing him carrying one of the biker's headlights.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, that's something that like would have been funnier if it was left in.
And
then that whole transaction felt clunky to me.
Mhm.
Like, because it's like, didn't they just meet yesterday? Like, what's their relationship as friends? You know, like, I don't know, like, because it doesn't seem like they've known each other long enough for like, you know, for her to like slap him and him to be like, hey, you know, like I'm here, like it's all good, like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Well,
it just felt clunky. Like,
and that's what it has to do with their characters. She slapped him because obviously, like you said, she doesn't know them. Why are they bothering
but that's
her?
what I'm saying. I feel like a slap isn't enough.
You don't think so? You think
No,
so?
Not in a situation. If it's like a price, not a priceless, but like an heirloom passed down, like this is my father.
Mm-hmm.
Like if I was in her situation, that's how I would see it. Like I was tasked with carrying on this legacy. This is the legacy I'm
I
carrying.
feel like it'd be like a family heirloom
Exactly.
or some shit.
So
So it would
that's-
just be like, it'd be like, I'm killing this man.
So-
Like, you better get down there and help me find or something. You know, I feel like the slap wasn't enough.
So
But
that's the thing, though. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Diego.
No, I can see why a slap because like, you know, it's just
But that's what I'm saying. If they were like not good friends, but like if they were like
Because she's all
friends, it's like yeah, the slap passes. But I felt like they didn't show their friendship enough.
because she's all like she slapped him. She didn't say anything, and then she's like, "Just get out of here," you know.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like the exchange felt clunky, and then
It
and
wasn't
then, like,
clunky. Not
I don't
for
know.
me.
I don't know. That's the way I saw it, where it was just like I don't know, like there wasn't enough exchange between them beforehand to I don't know.
And that's fair.
just-
You know what? That's very fair. So the whole thing about Mira and her sword is that they're gonna do it later on in the anime. I'm pretty sure because it's a very big part of like her character development. It's like she's unsure about wanting to carry on the sword style. That's the whole thing about
Oh,
her.
okay. Yeah,
Is
yeah.
they don't really talk about it much at the beginning. It's really during the tournament that you kind of go in more into her backstory about it. But she's not sure because she holds this like resentment of not being able to be a normal girl
Right.
because she has to keep the
Yeah,
style
yeah,
going.
they showed that a little bit. Whereas
they-
the flashback in the classroom, and
Exactly,
they're like,
they,
"You
like,
wanna
hinted
paint your
at it."
nails too, but she's just like my sword.
Well, no, because she was just kind of like thinking about it as like, why would I want
Yeah,
to do
oh,
that
that's
to my
right. She was looking at her
calloused
calloused
hands?
hands. Yeah.
But like, yeah, like her early character development is really just about like whether she wants to actually carry on the sword style or not.
Yeah,
And then
that's cool. Yeah, so like hearing that's what I'm saying. It's like there's all this like gold. Like it
Mhm.
sounds great, but then when I think about the stands, I'm just like,
yeah,
I'm like, man, like I don't know. Like,
but I wonder how the anime would turn out if there wasn't those stands and like
true,
you know,
true.
how long is that anime or that manga?
How many chapters?
Yeah,
ooh, it's still going on to this day. I'm
JT,
currently caught up to
answer
date.
my question.
I gotta look at it. I gotta look at it.
Okay. But overall, I'm impressed. Like
Mhm.
yeah,
I
from like the first 3 episodes.
Yeah.
Like yeah,
it's good. Oh no, I'm talking about like just like what Crunchyroll's doing with like webtoon
yeah.
and stuff like that.
in
like,
general.
like so far these two, like I said, what
Oh, they uploaded a new chapter.
nice. What is it?
474.
Mm.
Okay.
Well, you know, it is what it is. Hey, wait,
It
Tower
is
God
what
was
it is.
478.
Yeah,
Wow. Okay.
they're pretty close to each other.
But anyways, yeah, it's like I'm impressed. Like, you know, I'm used to like I was saying, it's like cookie cutter anime. Like a lot of it's like you'll get different stories,
Mhm.
but it's just they're all pretty much the same. You know, they follow the same story. But so the fact that like you know the artistically they're so different. Like the soundtrack, it's so good. Like they're just doing great work. You know, it's definitely getting
yeah.
my
Plot
hopes
lines
up.
are different too.
Yeah, yeah.
They got different.
It
motivations.
feels
Flow
it
and stuff
feels
like that.
really
It's just-
different too. I don't know. And like I get so hyped just wanting to watch the next episode. I'm like, oh boy, you know?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I would say like hype is definitely like the key word for like God of High School. Like I don't know, especially with the music. I'm just like, yeah, let's go.
So
Yeah.
I just have one more thing to say. There was one scene in particular that kind of made me upset. It
no.
was the scene when he's fighting the guy in dreads. What's his
That
name?
chunkless?
Manseok, yeah. Chunkla Man.
Chunkless.
It showed a scene using renewal taekwondo.
Mori or
Mori. It shows Mori Jin using renewal taekwondo.
is that with the triple kick?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
So
That
that
was
triple kick
badass.
is supposed to I was actually kind of disappointed by it because the whole premise of his triple kick is that he kicks them on the right side, then the left side, and then the back of the head. Like he rotates completely around them.
Oh,
But in the anime, it just shows him like 3 quick kicks.
He
and-
does like a spin basically.
Like
It's
yeah,
Ryu.
he's
pop, pop,
he's
pop.
the one spinning
Yeah.
instead of spinning around them, and so it kind of like made me sad because in the beginning of the series, that's like his iconic move. That's how he just like fucking ends people, dude.
I wonder if that's just like them trying to keep a balance, like in them now animating
Mhm.
instead of it being like panel by panel
hmm
in comic style. It being animated, I think they're trying to cut back on like the. I feel like a buffoon for saying this, but the toony style of fighting of like, oh, he just span like did a full revolution around this man instead of just like, oh yeah, he just spun really fast and kicked
But
him
see,
big.
that's
the
the
point
thing.
You get what I'm saying? You get what I'm saying?
Like trying to get the point across a little.
No, that
or
they're
what?
just like not.
So it looks
making-
cartoony, you know?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I like they're trying to make it more realistic.
Yeah. Like a triple like kick.
Yeah, like a pirouette is
yeah.
more believable than him just like
doing like some Rey Mysterio
yeah,
shit.
just like nothing personal. You know,
You
like,
say that, but then here they are bringing in their quote unquote.
that's what I was saying. That's why I feel like a buffoon for saying it. But
Yeah.
like, you know,
Honestly, I don't know if how they're gonna go on with that because he has a lot of cool like renewal taekwondo moves that he does. So I don't know how they're gonna like bring those in. I really hope they do it justice next time he does it because he does it pretty soon again. But I don't know. I guess we'll have to just see.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like I want to keep watching the fight scenes are so fluid. They're
Mhm.
so beautiful. I don't know.
Yeah.
But
Good anime.
good
Mhm.
anime. That's what I'm saying. It's like Crunchyroll. We here. Let us know what's up. give us a sneak preview of what you got up your sleeves. Like I said, we talked about it on our second servings episode, where it's just like they're like Crunchyroll's doing good work. Like they're working. You know what I'm saying? Like
Oh yeah.
I'm curious to see what's gonna come out, and I'm excited. I have high hopes now. Like I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but like hopefully they keep going. Hopefully they pick up more webtoon.
We'll see.
Like we'll see. Only time will tell. But yes, I guess we'll call it there. We'll call the episode there. If you have any questions or you want to discuss, throw hands on some of these our opinions about these anime.
You want to throw them up?
Yeah, catch these hands. No, or if you want to discuss Tower of God, especially now that it's done, speculation, what you guys think is going to happen, hit us up at Twitter, at Bowlofmen, or if you're not a fan of social media, we have an email, bowlofmen@gmail.com. Let's get a discussion going. Let's talk about it. We want to know what you guys think. Let us know what you thought about this episode, and we'll catch y'all next time.
See ya.
Later.
Take care.